Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stellar, and today we're gonna make an obby to kind of get you into the Roblox development journey. So the most popular type of game in Roblox are obbies because they're so simple to make and they're fun most of the time. So if we want to get started, we want to have an appropriate template here. Let's choose the base plate because, as mentioned in the previous video, it's the most practical one and most modern one, and it just looks overall nice. Okay, so if you want to get started on making an obby, you should know what an obby looks like first. So if we're gonna go with this style, so in this game there's like no floor, it's just a bunch of obstacles you have to pass through. So just complete it like this, then you're done with the first stage, and then there's more. It just keeps going or really long, and that's what obbies are about, right? So let's actually start making our own. So you go to Studio and you're on your base plate. So first thing we gotta do is get rid of the base plate. So you should know that. Go to the workspace and you select the base plate, then you just delete it, as well as the spawn location. Now let's get this going. So first we want to make the lobby, the spawn, whatever you want to call it. So remember, when you hold control while scaling, it'll actually go both sides, which is really nice. So you can make a equally divided square. All right, now make sure you anchor it, because if you don't anchor it, this part will actually fall down into the void. That's not what we want. So anchor it by clicking here. All right, now let's add a spawn location. So you go to model, and here you have spawn. So click on that and put it in the middle. Okay, now that's done. All right, so let's get our first stage going on. So let's go and click apart, and then let's make obstacle where you have to jump on platforms and not fall into the void. So like this, make sure you anchor it again. Okay, so let's actually change the snap to grid thing. So let's change it to 5, for example. And then let's Ctrl D and move it, I don't know, 2 steps, and then do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know if this jump is possible, but let's see when we're gonna test it. And then once again, and then let's put it back to 1 and make it another checkpoint kind of thing. Okay, so that's good. These are all anchored, so that's good. We can also give them a little color if you'd like. So we can make this yellow, orange, red, and green, like that. All right. So that's for our first stage. It wasn't that hard, just a simple build. So let's make a little obstacle where you have to jump from wall to wall. That would be pretty cool, I think. So let's make a wall first. So put it like this, boom, and then let's hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and put it to the other side. Perfect. Okay, now let's make little platforms, and also make sure these are both anchored. So click both of them, anchor. Okay, now click apart, anchor it first, and then put it like this, a little bigger, so we can actually manage to jump. Put it the other side, like so, and then let's duplicate it until we're done. Okay, it was pretty easy. So let's actually make this just a little longer so it looks good. Okay, good. Now we can duplicate this platform and put it here. Okay, that was also pretty easy. Let's color them to make them look good. All right, that's done. So, all right, that was the second stage. It was pretty easy. We made 2 stages already. So let's do something different now. Instead of jumping and stuff, let's actually make an obstacle where you have to dodge parts that kill you. So if you've been around in Roblox for a while, you should know that like all the killing parts, they're marked as red. So let's actually make a little platform here. Anchor it, and then let's make the final thing here. Let's make this one grayish. And let's add these killing parts. So they're just basically just parts with a script inside that makes it so you will die upon touching it. So let's first make this red before doing that. And we can make it neon, so it's a glowing material. You should really check out every material so you will know which ones are out there and which one to use. Make sure it's anchored as well. And let's duplicate it, distribute it around. Okay, good. Now, these ones don't actually kill you yet. And the reason why is just because we made it red doesn't mean it kills you, right? So to actually make this part start killing you upon touching it, insert a script and make it so it kills whoever touches it. So you don't have to understand what's going on here because you don't know how to script yet, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just showing this to show you like how to insert scripts and to show you that like Roblox Studio isn't magic. You have to actually make things work yourself. So let me just quickly make the script and you can copy it from the description or whatever, maybe the comments. So let me just make it. Alright, so I'm done. It's pretty small code. And if you want to make this part kill whoever touches it on touch, you want to have the script inside and do the same for the other part. So you select them and hit Ctrl Shift V, or you can right click and click paste into selected, and then it will put it inside the parts and then it will kill you upon touching it. So that's done too. Maybe want to have maybe 2 more stages, so let's think of one. Right, so we can have a little stage where the platform, this platform, it pushes you to the left, for example. So the way we can do that is by using a property called assembly linear velocity. You don't exactly have to know what it does. I'm just showing you this because I want to show you that it's possible. To make it push it to the left, for example, we want to look at this arrow here. So you know that Y is going up and down, the Z is going back and forth, and the X is going left and right. You can see that here. So if we want to make it push this way, we have to go here, open this, and the Z. So since the arrow is pointing this way, we make it a positive number. If it was going the other way, if we wanted to make it go to the right, we have to make it negative because that is the opposite way the arrow is going. But we want to have it go to the left. So let's do, I don't know how much, maybe 6. Let's try 6. So now it will push you to the left when you're on it. Alright, so we can make this a little harder by adding the kill part. So let's duplicate it and kill you whenever you're on the edge. Alright, cool. We should also make it on the other side to make it a little more interesting. Alright, so then let's duplicate it and let's make one more stage. And what should we do? Oh, I have an idea. So let's actually go to home, hit toolbox, and let's take a car. Okay, so from the previous video, I was using the old toolbox and they updated and it looks a lot better now. So we can actually select a vehicle category now. Just click on that and we can select cars. So let's actually go with a simple car instead of these crazy, highly detailed cars. This one is pretty nice, for example. Right, so one thing I also want to show you is when you hit R while dragging an object, you can actually rotate it like this, and that's really nice. So you don't actually have to take the rotate tool and, you know, that kind of stuff. Let's make a nice little track for this car. So maybe a little more wider. So put it like this, control, and then make it huge like that. And let's add little obstacles so it's not that easy to reach the end. Let's also make the end part. First of all, let's make a little wall here. So you cannot use the car on the second stage. So, okay, now let's start creating some obstacles. So let's have a wedge, for example. So here you can select different shapes, and that's really nice for, you know, building. And let's make it a little bigger like this. Okay, now we have that. let's make a little more. For example, here, let's make it a little smaller, like so. Maybe rotate it even a little to the other side. That could be a little annoying. Let's see. We can also put spheres in them, so we can put it like this, make it a little bigger. So, okay. One thing we forgot is to anchor them. So let's select every part we did not anchor and hit anchor. Okay, alright, now let's make one more thing and maybe a cylinder. Let's rotate this thing and... Alright, cool, that's done. One thing I realized is, like, they can just not use the car and easily pass this, so there's not really a solution to that, but, you know, whatever. Not as if I can make them use the car. Well, actually I can, but you know, I cannot quickly do that in a few seconds, so let's actually color these things. So, red. So I'm really bad at coloring, you see. I'm using the same colors always. So one thing, let's make this blue, cyan. Alright, cool. So that's that. So I think it's time we should test out this obby. Alright, so let's give it a go. Let's hit play. Alright, so we're in the game. So let's start doing this obby. And these jumps are definitely possible, so that's good. And these ones are also possible. You cannot just go in here. So that's the thing about game design. You want to make sure like they cannot cheat. So let's fix that later. And if I'm correct, we should die when touching this part. And we die, so that's good. And one thing that we're missing is checkpoints, of course. So let's see if we can add that later too. Let's actually finish this obby. So it should not touch the parts. Okay, and this one should push us to the left. So you can see it's working. It's a little slow, but you know, it's working. You can always make it faster. Now we can grab this car and do this little obby. We forgot to anchor the cylinder, that's why it's moving like that. But yeah, no, it's nice to keep it like that too, so they have to kind of push it out of the way. And we finished the obby, so that was pretty easy. We did it like in, I don't know, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, I don't know. So now let's actually start fixing some things before we go further. So let's make this higher and let's anchor the cylinder and let's add some more to make it a little harder. Alright, so that's that. Now let's start adding some checkpoints. And you don't have to script them yourself. You can actually just open up the toolbox and look for checkpoints. Now let's try this one out. There's a script in it, which is good. And then it has this script in it. And it's not malicious, so you can just use it. And where should we put this one? What we can do, we can select all of these, like so, and move them forward, and move this one, so, and let's put this car here. Also, one thing you might notice is like how quick I'm switching between these tools, because I'm using keybinds. You have control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should really get used to that. You don't have to, but it makes life a lot easier. And it's really easy to remember. So like, you know, Ctrl 2 is move, Ctrl 3 is scale, Ctrl 4 is rotate, and transform. I have not talked about transform, but if you want to look into that, it's, you know, up to you. Let's add the final checkpoint right here. And let's finish this obby with a huge cake or something. So let's duplicate this and make a huge platform. And let's look for a cake in the toolbox. Cake. And this one seems to be edible according to the title. So let's not put it in the starter pack and make it big. So you can use control to do this, like so, but you can also use shift to like scale it in all the other directions. So when you hold shift and move it up, it will actually proportionally resize the other parts too. So shift, all right? Let's put this like this. And yeah, that's about it. So let's test this obby one more time. Actually, also, let's make this thing a little faster. I almost forgot to do that. So let's make it 12. Alright, let's play. So I spawn in the middle of nowhere. That's probably because we should not replace this spawn location. So let's move that actually and use the old one. So, alright, let's play it now. Alright, now it's working. So let's do the obby. So if I'm correct, we should actually spawn there now. So let's die. And we don't. So let's actually use a different spawn location now. So like this, let's look for checkpoint again. Let's try this one out. Okay, it's the exact same thing. So let's not use that. Let's actually remove the other ones, like so. Delete and look for. Oh, they're all the same. That's annoying. And that's the thing with free models, like they're always the same. Yeah, it's the same one again. It's so annoying. What's this? Let's use this one. Yeah, so this one seems to be different. I hope it is different. I don't know what this is, so let's remove that. You don't want that stuff. README. Put this in workspace, goes to stage 1. Okay, so delete this script. There's a lot more scripts in here. Okay, so let's actually just use this now. So according to the model, we need to put this like so, and we need to name them accordingly. So that one should be 0. This one should be 1. This one should be 2. This one should be 3. And this one should be 4. Okay, I really hope it works now, so let's see what happens. Okay, let's do the zombie. It gives me a sound, so I'm assuming it's working. It says I'm at stage 1, so let's actually try resetting and see what happens. And we spawn here, so that's working. That's great. Alright. Okay, this was actually hard enough. Stage 3. Do that. Ooh, the wonderful. Like so, we did it, and we got a cake. And it's huge, and we can probably not eat it. Or we can, maybe? Probably. Oh, yeah, we ate it. So, that's working, and it's the obby. We made our own obby. It's a little small, but you know, you can always make your own and, you know, upload it and play with your friends to challenge them to, you know, defeat it. Okay, so that's making an obby for you. We got a little stuck in the checkpoint spark, you know, we did it. So if you want to use this, just, you know, go here and look for it. It's made by Belade. So have fun with that. This is actually quite a decent game, I gotta be honest. But you know, it's a little too small. So I hope you learned something new. I hope you know a little bit more about developing games on Roblox, and I hope I can inspire you to make your own instead of just watching me do all the things. If you got stuck on any part, you know, just hit a comment and I'll read it and I will most likely answer your question. That's about it. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And in the next one, we're actually gonna start scripting. I know scripting may be a little hard at the beginning. You know, at some point you're gonna have a click and you'll suddenly understand a lot about scripting. I remember, like, I didn't know I could script, right? So I thought it was impossible, and you know, you have to be really smart, but that's not true. Anyone can do it as long, you know, they're motivated and patient. Patience is really important. When you go to YouTube and watch these YouTube channels and you see videos like maybe an hour long, yeah, I know you're not gonna watch it because, you know, I want to quickly learn scripting, but those videos are usually the ones that actually help you instead of, you know, teach you in a second and you have to understand everything yourself. It's also one thing, like, don't rely on YouTubers explaining everything. Like, I always find people like asking about how to make a certain thing, like for example a combat system. You know, you can find that stuff online probably, but like, you cannot just always look for YouTube videos and expect them to fully help you. because that is like not gonna work most of the times. You have to actually make things on your own and maybe even ask for help by actual people, those who have experience in developing. So this is actually the end of the video. I hope I taught you something interesting today, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.